Hey fellow toy fanatics, welcome back to Dan's Toy Box. I've got the key, so let's pop the lock and climb on in. Today's Toy Box treasure is the Tamashii Nation's SHFiguarts Endgame Captain America Final Battle Edition. I was very content when I got the worthy cap, but the accessories for this figure really knocked it out of the park for me, and that's what prompted me to get it. So I gotta confess, I watched a lot of reviews on this figure before I chose to buy it, and I have to admit I have a love-hate relationship with it. On the one hand, I did use it for a very cool stop-motion video I made with the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Thanos, and I had a lot of fun posing it around, creating the battle. And from a distance, the deco looks really good. The articulation allows for a lot of creativity in posing. On the other hand, when you get up close, the paint deco, which is designed to give the figure a dirty, battle-worn appearance, kind of looks more like it's accumulated dust from sitting on your shelf for about the last 5 or 6 months and not being played with or enjoyed. Cap's paint deco is maddeningly inconsistent in terms of the idea of creating a weathered, worn look for the character that indicates his prolonged battle with Thanos. The deep blue is muted by a dust coating and looks gray in some areas. Cap's midsection does look reasonably and appropriately soiled, but the problem is the red stripes are a muted, almost purplish color thanks to the dust and dirt. And the last time I checked, dust and dirt doesn't turn red purple. So I do have some gripe with the color of the paint scheme there. I was actually really disappointed with that. I do like the detail on the belt and on his gloves, and you'll see that it matches on all of the other hands that the figure comes with. His boots are accurate to the movie, the gloves again are accurate to the movie, and they actually look good compared with the other issues. The sculpted detail on Cap is very finely done, and it does give a nice look to the figure. But one of the head scratchers for me is if the rest of the uniform is so dirty, how is it that the A is so clean on the Avengers logo on his shoulder? That just doesn't make any sense to me, but you know, whatever. Also, the other inconsistent and really probably the biggest issue I have is on the face sculpts. The last time I watched Endgame, Cap was filthy and he had some battle damage and some injuries to his face, and yet on this figure, every one of the sculpts has a nice, clean, crisp face and neck paint. There's no indication of damage, there's no indication of dust and dirt. Kind of doesn't make sense to me, but again, what can you do? Another point of contention I have on the head sculpts is that even though they look incredible, from a distance this looks like Chris Evans. Now when you get up close, not so much anymore. Yeah, he's got the sideburns, the high sculpted cheekbones, and the paint detail really is exceptional. It's very clean. The flesh tone looks great. It matches with the neck to a pretty solid degree. Even the gold in the hair, I really like the gold. I'm not crazy about the seam over the top of his head, which you can see here, but I mean, you know, overall, the look is nice. It's just that that's not Chris Evans. Still, in a way, if that's the biggest gripe that I have for this, I mean, that's not a bad gripe to have. Again, it would be kind of nice to have a dirty face on, you know, either the masked or the unmasked sculpts. Here's the head that was on at the start of the video. And, you know, you can see the silver paint for the wings on the side looks good. The A is muted thanks to the dirt. But his face is nice and clean. And the rest of the mask and helmet actually don't really have that dirt and dust look to it that the suit does. The third head sculpt that comes with it has him grimacing, and the paint deco on this is exceptional. The trim around the mouth and teeth looks fantastic. His eyes look incredible. Again, we get that nice silver detail for the wings on his helmet, the kind of dirty, dusty A on the front, the chin strap, and again, the neck, ears, and facial flesh colors all match up the way they should. But Cap's been in battle, and Cap is nice and clean. My assumption here is he left the battle really quick, ran to the head, cleaned up, and came back fully refreshed and ready to fight some more. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I was absolutely thrilled to find the Marvel Legend Worthy Cap Walmart exclusive. And I was pretty happy to just have that and move on with life. And then I saw the accessories that comes with this figure, and SHFiguarts gets one thing right consistently, and that's the great amount of stuff that they put in with their action figures. I was absolutely thrilled to not only see Cap's shield looking just incredible, but also to see Cap's shield after Thanos had his way with it and turned it into half the shield it used to be, so to speak. Initially I thought, man, what a beautiful addition. This would look really sharp on the Marvel Legend figure. But of course, due to the way the shields mount on this cap, you would have to do some work to try to get it onto your Marvel Legend if you have the Worthy Cap. You can see the dual ports here, which there's a hand holding the shield strap, as you've seen in some of the pictures throughout this video, and then the forearm strap that ports into these two bottom holes here. The art deco on both shields is phenomenal. That dark blue and that dark red really is reminiscent of Cap's shield in the comic books. It looks like it came right out of the page. And then all the dirt and grime covering the shield, muting the silvery white, muting that red, just makes Cap's shield look incredible. And they did a really, really fine job on these two pieces here. And of course, the big reason for this Mjolnir. In Endgame, we see that Cap is proven worthy to wield Thor's hammer in the battle against Thanos, and the sculpt on Mjolnir and the paint scheme and job on this is by far the best I've ever seen. When compared to its Marvel Legend counterparts, this Mjolnir is significantly smaller. Of course, the SHFiguarts do tend to be more true to their 6-inch tall roots, as is evidenced by pretty much any other SHFiguart being stood in comparison with any Marvel Legend figure. But this Mjolnir just simply is incredible, from the detailed silver on the handle and on the base of the handle where the leather thong is at, to the intricate design that was carved into the mallet piece itself, as well as the top port that is removable, which will then allow you to put in some of the effects that Mjolnir comes with. The lightning effects on the sides of the hammer port in nicely, and you can see how that translucent blue looks, just outlining the shape of the hammer itself. The top piece here, you just have to be very careful because you can lose it easily. Picks out like that, and we can then port the lightning effect that goes on the top of the hammer into that as well. And let's look at that for just a minute. This is just one of the sharpest things I've seen. I'm going to kind of turn the light out over here and maybe get us a little bit easier look at this deep blue. You've got a nice white wash at the base to port in, and then this darker blue as it moves up to the translucent light blue effect for the top of, at the tip of the lightning here. And you will see that it is just kind of a port and match piece. You've got a specific shape in here that you match up. And of course, let's see if I got it right the first time. Nah, because that would be too easy. And there we go. We've got the lightning effect ported into the top of Mjolnir. We've got the side piece effects on on the ends of each end of the mallet. And the nice thing about this particular piece is that you simply remove the mallet portion and then you slide the hammer up through his Mjolnir holding hand like so, and then port it back on. And voila. And once we have it ported back in, we have Captain Rogers, worthy to hold and wield Mjolnir in battle. Cap comes in at just about 6 inches tall again, which is pretty standard for the SHFiguarts figures, as they are true to the 6-inch scale. And you know, he looks really good with the Build-A-Figure Endgame Thanos, at least in terms of size comparison. We'll get to a little bit point later in the video where I will have Cap with some other figures just so you can get a look at them. But it does come in at the traditional SHFiguarts 6 inches. One other great positive that SHFiguarts always has is their articulation, and Cap is no exception. His head will look up that far without the mask. You can see the hair does kind of get on the collar a little bit. You can work it to get the hair over top of the collar. It will look forward that far. The head and neck are both on ball joints, and he's got great side-to-side motion and a little bit of attitude. Cap's shoulders will drop down, which will allow for increased movement. You can get a full 360-degree turn. They will raise out that high, drop them down. You'll tuck the top of the shoulder in underneath to get that. And there's really no scuffing or anything, which is good. Cap does not have an upper bicep swivel, but you can get some rotation with the really, honestly, for me, kind of weak butterfly joints. There's not a whole lot of exceptional movement out of these. He does have the double jointed elbow, which will bend that far. And then, of course, all of the wrists turn and they do hinge. And of course, I got to be very careful on hinging this because I did manage to break a pin on my Mafex Spider-Man by hinging the hand the wrong way. Cap's got a nice ab crunch that will bend back quite a ways. Unfortunately, if you go back too far, you can see that we get some gap in there. And if you go forward too far, well, that's as far forward as it's going to go. So it actually looks pretty good there on the back. He also has a hinge at the waist, and he gets some exceptional side-to-side pivoting. The problem is if you bend his waist back too far, you got pot belly Cap, and it will kind of pop up over the belt. So I don't recommend using this as a pose. His legs will split that far. He has the drop down upper thighs, which can give you the upper thigh pivot. There is no upper thigh cut. He's got double jointed knees, which will bend back that far. And he's got boot rotation, or pivot rather, and they do go forward. Mine only go forward about that much, but he's got good toe articulation, and they'll only go back about that far. I've worked on loosening them up, and I just don't want to push my luck with it, though. Overall, in spite of my gripes regarding the deco issues and regarding the appearance on the face, I do like this figure. I love the accessories. Those are the best shields I've ever seen. The Mjolnir is absolutely amazing to me. And, you know, I can live with the discolored red on his abdomen looking purple. I can live with the, hey Dan, why don't you come pick me up off of your shelf and play with me because I'm getting really dusty appearance up here. And I can even live with the not really looking like Chris Evans. At the price point of about $95 to $100, is this necessarily something that you want to add to your toy box? Maybe. That one's going to be entirely up to you. Like I said, I wasn't sold on the figure after watching several other reviews, but when I saw the accessories that came with it, to be frank with you, that's really what sold me on it. And now that I have it, and I've played around with it, and I've had a lot of fun posing it, I'm glad I have it in my toy box, and I get the feeling that you might feel the same way. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like below. For more video review content and stop motion content, please hit subscribe and make sure you check that notification bell so anytime I post something, you get to pop in and see it. Thanks for coming into the Toy Box today, guys, and join me next time when we review the Marvel Legends Retro Wave Spider-Man. Until then, geek out.